The men's hockey team opens the Big Ten tournament on Thursday at 4 p.m. against Penn State. This year's tournament will be held at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, and all the games will be televised by BTN. Head coach Mike Eaves is here, and we'll take questions.
Mike, how would you surmise this past weekend against Minnesota and what you can carry forth to St. Paul?
Well, we played some pretty good hockey. I think we got home about 2:30 in the morning the other day, and we met briefly. I mean, we have talked about playing our best hockey at the end of the year, and over the course of the last 4 games, there's maybe one period that we were a little disappointed in, but we're doing good things, and that's good. That helps us now as we move forward. We'll take the good things that we did this past weekend and apply them to this weekend.
You just saw Penn State recently. What are those 2 games? What did you learn from there, and what do you take into this week?
Well, we played them 4 times here in the new year, and I think if you were to talk to the boys, that they would tell you that they feel they could have won all 4. So our last game we beat them. We know some of their tendencies, and it'll be a matter of us executing to a higher level and continue to have good goaltending and specialty teams, as it always comes down to in the playoffs. But I think that we feel good knowing that we've played them 4 times and feeling like, if we play the way we're capable, especially here in the last 4 games, then we can do some things.
Mike, throughout your time here, you've had a lot of really good freshmen step up, especially at forward. Where's Luke Conan fit within guys in the conversation with a guy like a Pavelski, like an Earl, like a Turris, with all those guys? He seems to have a different skill set, but what makes him part of that conversation, and what's also separates him perhaps from those guys?
Well, you're right in saying that he should be included in in that group right there. I think that every one of those young men that you mentioned is different in their own right. What Luke brings is an exceptional shot. I think at his age, and maybe the thing that differentiates him from those other names is how focused he is at a young age. In his preparation, what he's willing to do to try to achieve those things that he wants to achieve in his life, separates him a little bit. But as those other guys that you mentioned, he has high-end skill, high-end vision, high-end IQ of the game. But what separates him a little bit is just how mature he is at the age he's at right now.
Do you guys relish the fact that it is an entirely new season? Everybody goes in 0-0, and everybody has the exact same slate heading in?
Well, I would agree the fact that everybody's 0-0, but our window of opportunity to get to the top of the mountain here is slimmer than other groups, and so we recognize that. We're not kidding ourselves. We have to play very well from the first game, but we play 4 o'clock on Thursday, 4 o'clock on Friday, and then Saturday is a 7 o'clock game. So we've got a span to recover, and it's one game at a time. And because our sliver of opportunity is narrow, we have to win one at a time. And if we can continue to play like we've done here and get better, then we give ourselves a chance. But we're not kidding ourselves. We know that sliver is there.
Mike, back to Luke and his maturity. Here's a young man that he's on display every time he's on the ice, with a number of gentlemen from the National Hockey League watching him each and every night. There could be pressure on that, or he could maybe take it in another direction and say, okay, let's really show him what I've got. Would you agree?
I agree, and I would say, in addition to your comments, I think it's just become a way of life for him now at the end of the year. I don't think it affects him as much as perhaps it did early into the year. I think it's just normal for him now, and I think the one thing that we've seen in the second half of the year is a more consistency in his play game to game. Whether or not he is scoring, although that's been pretty good too, just in terms of the drop in the way he's thinking and playing the game, the energy level is same game to game here in the second half. I think in terms of the pressure of being under that microscope, he kind of got used to it here in the second half.
Mike, this time of year, you are who you are in so many areas. So many habits have been defined. If you could change one thing about your team instantly, what would you do?
At this moment, I would wish we have made meniscal adaptations and gotten better is playing with a lead. Yeah, and that's just a chapter that with a young group needs to continue to change. But put on the spot, I wish we were further along in that scale of knowing how to do that.
You mentioned the margin of error. You guys basically have to win this week. Do you get a sense of confidence from your guys that that's an achievable feat? Do they believe in it?
Well, I think it's good to have Eddie and Kevin in there because they were part of that group that did that when we won the WCHA title their freshman year. We had to win 3 games, and it was done. And I know they've talked about it with the group. So there's a level of having that experience in the locker room that helps. There's a level of knowing that, you know, we're coming as a team here. Like each time we play, we're doing more and more things better. We are playing our best hockey. And so that little sliver of opportunity that's there, we have some things in our favor in going toward